Welcome racing fans everywhere, and thanks for joining us here in Brno to watch the Czech Republic Motogp Grand Prix. The skies over the track are clear of clouds, and the latest weather reports forecast temperatures in line with the seasonal average. The cameras are accompanying us on a tour of their favourite riders for today's Motogp race. We can't make predictions, but judging from the extremely competitive qualifying sessions, we're sure we're going to see a fantastic show.
Hello and welcome to another video, and today, as you can see, we are on Motogp 18 once again for another episode of the Crutchlow career mode, and we are here at, is it round 10 now I think, or is it round 11? Not 100% sure, but we are here at the Czech Republic Grand Prix. Or the Czech Republic Grand Prix? Well, we're here in Brno anyway, as you can see. So if we quickly recap obviously what happened in the previous episode, we sort of just stormed away to victory once again. So we now have a perfect 225 points so far. We have a 78 point lead ahead of Andrea Dovizioso in second and 92 to Marquez in third. Viñales is in fourth. He has 121 points, so he's 104 off of us. And then Rossi is another 8 behind him in 5th position. So yeah, there's some pretty big gaps between the AI as well, really. There's obviously 12 between Marquez and Viñales, and there's 14 between Dovizioso and Marquez. So yeah, the AI not too close to each other, but yeah, Mir is currently top rookie, pretty secure in that position there in 6th position. Zarco moved up to 7th in the previous episode. He has 68 points, ahead of Lorenzo in 8th position with 67. Petrucci also has 67, and I think maybe Rins has 67 as well. I'm not 100% sure. But if we move on to constructors now, Monster Energy Yamaha are leading with 234 points. Me in LCR Honda Castrol, I am only 9 points behind them now, with 225 obviously, because it's only me in the team. Obviously Nakagami's points don't go towards that tally, but he doesn't have any anyway, so it wouldn't matter. Mission Winnow Ducati is in 3rd position with 214 points, so they're 20 points off of Monster Energy Yamaha. 4th Repsol Honda with 200 points, they're 34 points away from Monster Energy Yamaha. So yeah, Lorenzo's sort of letting that team down a little bit there, I think, and Petrucci has had a bit of a resurgence as of late, and I think the same with Lorenzo really, but their starts to the season weren't great, and Rossi and Viñales has been pretty consistent. Obviously there is only 8 points between the two of them, so they are, you know, as I was saying, that was sort of a big-ish gap earlier. It's not really, to be fair. They're pretty close to each other, they've got similar amounts of points. But 5th place for Suzuki, they are 94 points off, 95 sorry, away from Monster Energy Yamaha with 139 points. So they're pretty much in a league of their own because they've got 40 points over Red Bull KTM.
We are seconds away from the start of the race. The riders are coming down to the start of the Czech Grand Prix here in Brno.
Yes, so we are getting ready for the start of this race now. We're waiting for the lights to come on. The lights are on. We're waiting for the lights to go out to try and get a good start here. Lights out and away we go. We've got the low rev start, which is pretty good. Pulling alongside Nakagami, pulling alongside Abraham. Then you can see Oliveira with the new Tech 3 livery and Siren as well. Between Siren and Morbidelli, hitting the brakes around the outside of Tito. Rabat into turn 1 through, yeah, I'm not even going to try and pronounce that corner name, look at it. But Rabat's holding the inside line. We're trying to run it around the outside of Tito. Rabat now on the left side of Alesius Bagro. Past Alesius Bagro, you see Bagnaia out on the left, right hand side there. Going between new race winner Rins and Bagnaia, but they've both got past me on the brakes here. Trying to get back on the inside of Pecco once again, on the inside of Pecco, but we're being blocked here by Fabio Quartararo here. Quartararo at the inside of Rins. Rins a bit wide. We're trying to get on the inside of Rins. Gives us some slipstream off of Quartararo here. Past Rins, past Quartararo, past Oliveira as well. Not Oliveira, sorry, Espagro. I don't know where I got Oliveira from. Up into 11th position. But you can see he's still trying to get on the inside. We've ran a bit wide. Rins and Quartararo back at the inside, but we've ran around the outside, so we're up in front of them now. A bit of contact with the Iannone and Mir. Sort of just pushed those both wide. We've now picked up the position, but I was thinking about maybe letting them back through. So now I went in a bit hot here anyway, so I sort of just let them, you know, keep the position. Because obviously I did make a mistake and hit them a bit wide, but up the inside through turn 9 on the inside of Mir. Try to get the inside of Iannone on the exit as well, getting some slipstream from Danilo Petrucci down in 8th position. You can see Jorge Lorenzo ahead of him in 7th. Lorenzo's going for the move on Zarco, and we're going for the move on Petrucci. Petrucci pushes the pushes onto the curb, up the inside through Kevin Schwant's corner. He's still hanging around the outside. That we're now up into 8th position, so it's a pretty good start here. Zarco now trying to re-attack Lorenzo through turn 11. Flick it over for 12, and then we're about to go up Horsepower Hill, getting on the throttle nice and early. Closing up on Zarco quite a bit there, getting a little bit of a slipstream. Goes to the left-hand side of Zarco. Lorenzo just a bit in front. Going on the inside of Zarco, got on the inside of Lorenzo as well. Probably not going to make it stick through Horizon tier. Ran really wide, yes, and they both got back on the inside. So I had to go quite deep to try and pass the pair of them. Didn't really want to, but I also didn't want to hit Lorenzo. But out of the last corner we come now. Go to the left-hand side of Zarco. Has Zarco now, and the slipstream off Lorenzo. Oh, we're going to have a look at turn 1 on Lorenzo. Hitting the brakes really late here on the inside of Lorenzo. Missing the apex by quite a bit. Is Lorenzo going to be able to cut back on the inside? He's trying to. A bit of contact. Lorenzo's forces a bit wide. He's back up the inside. We're running around the outside of Lorenzo. Up into 6th position here. And now Jack Miller is the target in front of us. We've got to watch out for Lorenzo on the brakes here. He might be able to have another attack into turn 3. We've hit the apex quite nicely there. And yeah, we have got the position ahead of Jorge now. You can see Marquez leads from Dovi, from Vinales and Rossi, and then Miller's dropping back from them a little bit, because I think Miller was leading for a little bit, but he's been pushed back through the pack, trying to go around the outside of Miller. Not on the best line there. We've gone quite wide because we almost hit Miller on the brakes. We'll hit him up back a little bit there, but on the inside of Miller now, up into 5th position. Not sticking around, but he's trying to get back up the inside. Forces a bit wide through Stadium, and he's back through once again, almost contact again. And Miller's got the position back. We're still trying to go around his outside, but he's got the better line here. And in fact, he's close up to the two Yamahas a little bit. We're now trying to cut the inside to turn 9. Almost, well, not really, almost a bit of contact, but a nice cut back there. Up into 5th position. So now Valentino Rossi is the next target in our sights. So we're going to Kevin Schwantz, but I've gone in a little hot, quite hot actually. Is that going to allow Miller back on the inside? Miller's forced his way back up the inside, so we're about to have the 6th position once again. It's been a great battle with Miller. We've gone really wide through turn 11 because we hit the curb on the brakes, so that's not helped us anymore. But are we going to try and get him up Horsepower Hill, getting really late, early on the throttle through turn 12, get some slipstream off him to the left-hand side, just like on Zarco. Hit the brakes for Horizon. We've hit them a bit earlier than the previous lap, but we've not taken the best line, which has made us still run wide, and Miller has still got the position here. So we've been stuck behind him for almost a lap, and you can see Lorenzo is starting to make some inroads on us again, and we are dropping back because we are battling quite a bit here. But Dobby leads, Marquez 2nd, Vinales 3rd, Rossi 4th, Miller 5th, and it's going to be us 5th in a second. We go up the inside into turn 1, and we've sort of blocked him a little bit there. We've gone a bit wide, he's back up the inside again, so back down to 6th once again. We've sort of forced Miller out of the way this time, sort of had enough of sitting behind him. He just kept re-attacking every time we got through because we kept running wide. And I think we finally got the position now through turn 3. I broke really late, so we couldn't try and get the look up the inside, and he's still closed right up to us on the curve there. That could have been a high side. That's pretty risky stuff. Through turn 4, we've missed the apex a little bit, but you can get on the throttle nice and early. And I think we have now got Miller behind us, so we're up into 5th position now. As you can see, Dovizioso and Marquez still battling, and Vinales has sort of got a little bit in front of Rossi now, and he's trying to hunt down the front too. We are trying to size up Valentino pretty early on the throttle through turn 6. We're having a look at the inside of turn 7. Oh, a bit of contact with the doctor. He's leaning on us a bit. We've forced him out of the way, which is a bit of an aggressive move, but we do not have time. It's lap 3 of 5, and we're still down in 4th position. And look how long it took us to pass Miller. So I knew that could happen again if I wasn't aggressive to Valentino. So a bit of a shame we had to be like that, but you know, it's probably a good thing. It's given some good racing. We've not cleared off at the front yet, which we usually have done at this point, so that's good. Running through turn 10, Kevin Schwantz around really wide. Is that going to allow Valentino to get back through? Almost a bit of contact, almost front to rear. That definitely would have been Valentino down, I think, if that had happened, but luckily it didn't. But he's trying to hound us now. Flick it over through turn 11. Oh, Rossi hitting us a bit on the rear. That's not really allowed me to get the best exit up the hill now. So that's Vinales still got a bit of a lead over us. We're 4/10 behind Vinales now, hitting the brakes for the Horizon and then caught the bolt for some reason. But you can see how wide Marquez and Dobby went there. Still forcing each other wide. Rossi's still trying to find his way around us. Ian Erne's crashed as well, so that's not good for the Aprilia rider there. 50.7. So we are still sat in 5th position behind. 4th position behind Maverick Vinales now, and yeah, Rossi is really harrying us here. We've got to try and get our way past Vinales so that it's Vinales who's harrying instead of us. You can see Marquez try to go for the move once again in front of Dovizioso. Hitting the brakes really late here for turn 3. Trying to close up as much as we can to that M1 in front, because we need to pass him, and then we've got 2 more to pass. And because they're so close, we'll probably have to pass them at the same time. But you can see we have been struggling to make these moves stick here, but we have a really good exit out of this corner in the slipstream down towards turn 5. Are we going to have a look on the brakes? Up the inside, we've run a bit wide. That's going to allow Vinales to cut back up the inside. He's cut back up the inside, so it's not what we wanted. Could have tried to back up the inside through turn 6 and pushed him a bit wide, just a bit like we did to Valentino through Stadion. Is Vinales going to get back up the inside and get a bit more contact? Vinales is through once again, so we're not making these lines stick here. The bike felt quite funny in this race, and through turn 8 we ran really wide once again. And through turn 9 we are cutting back again, but Vinales has still got the lead, but we are closing on Mark and Dovi, I think it looks like now. If you look on the minimap, we've dropped Valentino a little bit as well. Up the inside on the brakes, forcing Vinales wide there, forcing him really wide through turn 10. We had to do it like that so that he couldn't cut back up the inside. Sort of just didn't quite get fully in front of him, so we had to go wide with us there. He probably could have just slowed down and cut under us, but the AI aren't smart enough to do that. But now we have a clear shot at Marquez and Dovi, and we've got a lap and a corner, well, a lap and 2 corners to do it. So we have to really try to take our time. And Marquez having a look at the inside of Dovizioso. We've gone a bit wide through Horizon there, but they've both gone pretty wide. We've got probably took a bit of a better line here, and we're probably going to have a look at them. We're getting a really good exit out of the last corner here. Getting the slipstream of Marquez. Marquez sitting to the right hand side of Dovizioso. We're only 1.4 tenths behind. We're really closing on the run into turn 1 on the inside through turn 1. Diving into the lead of the Grand Prix on the final lap. But they both cut back up the inside once again. And Marquez has now taken the lead out of Dovizioso, but we're past Dovi on the exit. We're really close to Marquez. Almost a bit of contact through turn 2 for Marquez. We've taken the lead once again on the last lap, hitting the brakes really late. For turn 3 here, Marquez has hit us a bit wide. Dovi's hit Marquez wide. Dovi's retaken second position here ahead of Marquez. We're going defensive. Marquez has pushed us into Dovi a bit there. That's allowed Dovi to get wide. Marquez trying to get the exit. We've moved over on Marquez on the exit of the corner there. We go for the defensive line and then go back to the left hand side of the track, hitting the brakes. For turn 5 where we tried to pass Maverick last lap. And we're up into the lead. And provided we don't make too many mistakes, well, we got on that curve. That could have been really problematic for us, especially with this tyre wear. But we've got to just try and hit the lines here. We have been running wide all race. I was really struggling with the bike for some reason in this race. It did not feel good at all, and I was struggling to get the thing stopped, if I'm totally honest. But well, you can see I only just took the lead on this lap. We're now got a 4/10 lead to Marquez, so provided we don't make any mistakes, this race is in the bag here. You can see Vinales is making some inroads again towards those two. But Valentino got dropped quite a bit after they probably suffered with a bit of tyre wear. He dropped back towards Miller, but you can see they did close quite a bit through Kevin Schwant's corner there. Through turn 11 we are trying to pull away again, a crash from Paul Espargaro, but we are just focusing on trying to get every single line right, going really tight through turn 12, getting on the throttle, probably not quite as early as I would have liked, but the arrow disappears here. So we've got a pretty nice lead, we've got a 4/10 lead, so we're just not going to bottle it into this last corner. We've ran, well, probably the best we've done Horizon the whole time. I mean, we ran a bit wide on the exit, but it doesn't matter too much. They've closed up a bit, but at the last corner we go. It's going to be another win. It's going to be 250 points in this championship. We won once again. We keep the winning streak up. But that was an intense race. I mean, really was. We're going to have a look here at sort of the race winning sequence. We're in a slipstream down towards turn 1 as we start the last lap. I saw my opportunity to dive to the inside on the pair of them. I mean, I know I probably wouldn't get it stuck, but I knew I could get a good exit if I ran wide. It's a better exit than they get when they hold it tight. And I went straight past Dovi, almost bit of contact with Mark there, past Mark. And then we came down towards turn 3 where the two of them decided that, well, Mark wanted to get the inside of me and Dovi wanted to get the inside of Mark. So Mark sort of got pushed into me by Dovizioso there, but he couldn't really do a lot about it. But we held up the inside through turn 4, sorry. And Mark tried to get the inside, but he couldn't quite.
Ceremony, let's take a look at the final MotoGP race results.
So yeah, let's look at the final results here. It wasn't the best race for me, was it? We didn't even have the fastest lap, but we did win in the end by 3/10 to Marc Marquez. Andrea Dovizioso was 3rd, Maverick Vinales 4th, Valentino Rossi ending up in 5th as Lucky dropped back by about a second there in the end. 6th place for Miller, 7th for Lorenzo and 8th for Mir. Zarco dropped to 9th in the end, but it was pretty closely knit field here. Obviously us front 4 all doing 50.7 as our fastest lap, 50.8 for Valentino, and that's sort of where it ends in terms of the closeness. You can see obviously 51.3 for Miller there. He was a bit further off the pace compared to us. But Danilo Petrucci ended up 10th there, so not really matching his teammate, 5.7 seconds off the win there. Rins once again not matching his teammate either, another 2 seconds back from Petrucci in 11th, Bagnaia 12th, 13th for Espargaro, so once again the second KTM, 14th for Rabat, 15th for Iannone after that crash, so not too bad for him. 16th for Oliveira, 17th for Siren, 18th for Quartararo. Takaki Nakagami still hasn't scored yet in 19th position. Same with Morbidelli and Karel Abraham in 20th and 21st, and Aleix Espargaro rounding out the field. We have now extended our lead to 87 points in this World Championship here, and 10 points between Marquez and Dovizioso now after that race, so those two getting a bit closer once again. 4th still for Vinales, he extends his lead to 10 points ahead of Valentino Rossi now in 5th. 6th for Jean Mir, 7th for Jacques Miller, 8th for Jorge Lorenzo, 9th for Zarco, 10th for Petrucci, who's dropped down dropped down 1 place. Zarco dropped down 2. 11th for Rins, 12th for Iannone, 13th for Pol Espargaro, 14th for Francesco Bagnaia, 15th for Quartararo, still with 10 points there, 16th for Rabat. So Zarco dropping down 2 positions there, and Rins dropping down 1. 17th for Oliveira, 18th for Aleix Espargaro, 19th for Franco Morbidelli, 20th for Hafi Siren, and 21st for Takaki Nakagami. So still no points for Morbidelli, Siren, or Nakagami. But look at the Constructors' Championship now. We lead with 250 points, ahead of Ducati in 2nd with 167, Yamaha in 3rd with 156, Suzuki 4th with 100, 5th KTM with 78, and 6th Aprilia with 42 points there. Got to probably go on to the Constructors in a second, but I guess I have left it a bit long on this this screen here. But look at Aprilia struggling in this championship. But now the Teams Championship is even closer. We're only 8 points behind Monster Energy, Yamaha, MotoGP now. In 2nd position, obviously, LCR, Honda, Castrol. 3rd, Mission Winnow, Ducati team. 4th, Repsol, Honda. 5th, Suzuki still. 6th for KTM. 7th for Alma Pramac. 8th for Aprilia. And 9th for Petronas. Obviously, Petronas, all their points still being scored by Quartararo at the moment. So you can see they are struggling a little bit this season. 10th for Raul Avintia, only 1 point away from Petronas. 2 points for Tech 3 KTM, both scored by Oliveira. And the only team still not to score, LCR Honda, Idemitsu, because Nakagami has been struggling quite a bit this season. But I hope you've enjoyed this video. Hope you enjoyed the race. It was a really tense race right to the end there. And as I say, hope you enjoy the rest of your day. I shall see you in the next one.
Picking up again live from the track, where the top 3 riders have just arrived on the podium for the award ceremony. Each Grand Prix makes its own story, but these guys will definitely be ones to keep an eye on in races to come.